This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. He Knows the Sport is back in hoodie mode, bro. So we about to get into it, man. So rehear me. Well, let's get on to it. Errol Spence. See, this is what classic goes in trouble. Rudy Point Ultra fanboys with ultra fanboy really gotta understand. When you sit here and you go up against the likes of an Errol Spence, like a Danny Garcia, and in this series, Errol Spence is going to what? Danny Garcia's Cherry Part 8, dog. Here's the truth of the fact of the matter. Danny Garcia, because of you Rudy Point, you pump brains, you classic Dolce, you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, y'all gonna fuck around and get Danny Garcia put on a stretcher. Let me say it again. Y'all gonna fuck around and get Danny Garcia put out on a stretcher. Errol Spence don't need a certain strength and conditioning coach to get the job done. He's more than understood the full variation, the full vernacular of what you guys are all talking about. Hard work, dedication, man. Let me say it again. Hard work, dedication. See, what you guys have to understand, you got to do your homework on this, is this. Prior to Blu-ray, Errol Spence, infamous strength and conditioning coach, the guy that had him in Super Shredder form, the guy that had him walking around with the 8-pack, you got to give Blu-ray credit. I see, when I talk about Blu-ray, I'm not in the business of dissing somebody, especially when they're 11-0 with a fighter. Let me say it again. I'm not in the business of dissing somebody, especially when they're 11-0 with a fighter. But here's the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, cutthroat, true-teller fashion. Errol Spence is 15-0 without him. So with or without Blu-ray, Errol Spence is undefeated. Now there's an argument you can make about the last two fights. You could say in the last two fights where Errol Spence, he wasn't his best. He admitted that. See, the real ones out here, these real G's, these super real G's, and these ultimate real G's out here in these boxing streets, they admit stuff. Let me say it again. The real ones, the real G's, the super real G's, and the ultimate real G's out here in these boxing streets, they admit stuff. They're not reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panders. They're not Rudy Point Plum brains. They're not classic Dolce Tropics. They're not ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. They admit stuff. I remember TBE, Floyd Mayweather. At one point in his career, he became too offensive oriented. Let me say it again. He became too offensive oriented. And then he had to go back and re-enlist the defensive savant or the defensive art specialist in Floyd Mayweather Sr. Because you guys, when you guys do your research on the Mayweathers, Roger Mayweather is the offensive genius. Floyd Mayweather Sr. is the defensive genius. Let me say it again. Roger Mayweather is the offensive genius. Floyd Mayweather Sr. is the defensive genius. That's right. When I want to pull out the encyclopedia on Floyd Mayweather, I can also do that too. Floyd Mayweather was getting tagged up like nobody's business against Miguel Cotto. Let me say it again. Floyd Mayweather was getting tagged up like nobody's business against Miguel Cotto. But what happened? Floyd Mayweather realized, okay, you know what? This is the sweet science. It's hit or don't get hit. Let me say it again. It's the sweet science. It's hit or don't get hit. And if I want to extend my career, and I don't want to be getting tagged up like I did in this Miguel Cotto fight, I'm going to have to swallow my pride. I'm going to have to humble myself. Or I'm going to have to swallow my pride and humble thyself. And I'm going to have to re-enlist my father. So that I can be out here crispier than a freaking three-piece. I can get the shoulder roll back to its level. Because Floyd Mayweather wasn't operating the shoulder roll. He was operating everything else, but he wasn't operating that in full vernacular. You saw the defense was struggling. This is why guys were able to tag him up. But he had to get Floyd Mayweather Sr. back. Because we couldn't have another Miguel Cotto on us. Well, here's the thing. Floyd Mayweather Sr. has been in Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s womb all his damn life. Let me say it again. Floyd Mayweather Sr. has been there since Floyd Mayweather Jr. was in his mom's womb all his life. So he's been birthed the shoulder roll from birth. But the difference, the dichotomy with Errol Spence, he didn't always have Blu-ray. Errol Spence won 14 fucking fights without Blu-ray. So then let's not sit here and act like Blu-ray is the end-all be-all. That Errol Spence has to have him to be in Super Shredder form. Errol Spence is in crazy shape right now. Crazy fucking shape. He's in fight shape right now. Literally, the man can fight right now. This is not about worshiping a fighter. This is about telling the cold-hearted, the unadulterated and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. Let me say it again. It's not about worshiping a fighter. It's about telling the cold-hearted, the unadulterated and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. See, people get it twisted here. He knows the sport doesn't rock with the rest. I settle for the best, dog. Let me say it again. I don't rock with the rest. I settle for the best. See, I have the best mindset. So I'm always going to rock with the best. And if people don't get that, that's on you. If you want to settle for the rest, you can go ahead and settle for the rest. Errol the Truth Spence is on shape. The motherfucker's in shape. He's on point. He's looking crispy right now, and he's ready to go 12 to 15 freaking rounds. Damn near 18 rounds if possible. But what we have is a bunch of classic dolts and troglodytes. Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Breaks. Ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, i.e. reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panders, that want to sit here and they don't have nothing to talk about. Because Errol the Truth Spence 8-miled their ass. He said that his Mr. Free Smoke line him up style is going to be Danny Garcia, Terrence Bud Crawford, and Manny Pacquiao. Let me say it again. Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, and Terrence Bud Crawford. So they can't hit him on that because they like, damn, that's the tightest resume at the welterweight division for a lineup. So we can't hit him off of that. We can't reverse bias off of that. We can't detract off of that. We can't pander off of that. So let's find something that's not about boxing to talk about. And look what they find. Something that if it would have happened to their fighters, they would have wanted sympathy. Let me say it again. If it would have happened to their fighters, they would have won sympathy. Keep that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. Keep that same energy. See, if it would have happened to a fighter that they were rooting for, they were supporting, they would have told you, come on, man. You gotta have a heart, man. You know, you can't be talking about the fighter like that. But then when it happens to a fighter that they can't understand because they're on their beta boy supreme nonsense, and they don't understand true alpha extraordinaires, and they don't understand or govern themselves by true alpha economics. Let me say it again. They don't understand true alpha extraordinaires, or they don't understand or govern themselves by true alpha economics. They can't understand that true alpha variation. They don't get it. You're not born an alpha. You got to earn that thing with courage, and you got to earn that motherfucker with heart. Let me say it again. You ain't born an alpha, dog. You got to earn that thing with courage, and you got to earn that thing with heart. Alphas are always in danger. Not only against their opponents, but they're also in danger by their naysayers. Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia are delusional because they think they could just have Danny Garcia fat as fuck, thinking that, he could just make weight at camp, and then he could come in right hand, left hook. Listen, man. Danny Garcia is getting put out on a fucking stretcher. Errol the Truth Spence is already in shape. This is what we call fine-tuning camp. This is what Errol the Truth Spence used to do with or without a Blu-ray. Let me say it again. This is what Errol the Truth Spence used to do with or without a Blu-ray. Fine-tuning camp. Fine-tuning your skills as opposed to you trying to make weight. Danny Garcia is looking to make weight in this fight. We saw the picture of him in his Tony Montana, dog. That motherfucker had a belly the size of Andy Ruiz Jr. Let me say it again. He had a belly the size of Andy Ruiz Jr. So when we say Errol the Truth Spence is going to what? Danny Garcia's cherry in this series, we know what we're talking about here. Tune his ass up. You can't sit here and talk about a guy that's living his ranch style, Texas lifestyle, because you don't understand how the Texas lifestyle works. You don't understand how Texans get down, and you're going to sit here and say that he has a mental issue. This is why He Knows the Sport got on World Boxing News the other day. Because now you're leaving it to boxing, quote-unquote, pundits that want to tell you about mental health as if they're mental health professionals. Things that make you say, Things that make you say, The other day, I heard on Monty Brown's live stream when my boy Tom Ross was chewing up the Reject Robin. He was telling you, I don't listen to mental health professionals. Mental health professionals, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I know more than them. Let me say it again. I was listening to Monty Brown's live stream the other day with my boy Tom Ross, fellow Double Dragons true alphas. We don't agree on everything, but that's the thing with alphas. We ain't gonna fucking agree on everything. But you best believe we gonna be an alpha about that shit. I saw him chew up the Reject Robin. When the Reject Robin ran his mouth and said, I don't listen to mental health professionals, man. See, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is how they're talking out here in these boxing streets. I don't listen to mental health professionals, man. What the hell do they have to tell me? I know more than them. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you have a news platform that operates under boxing pundits And they're using Rudy Point Plum Plum brains. Classic Dolce and Troglodytes. Ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Beta Boy Supremes to tell you about Errol the True Spence's mental diagnosis. As if they know that he has a mental issue. What the fuck are we getting to? Remember, he knows the sport told you. And the prediction king strikes again. And the prediction king strikes again. This shit wasn't about boxing, man. I told y'all, man. It's about everything outside of boxing, man. Because they have to reverse bias. They have to pander. They have to detract. And if they can't find anything that has to do with the sport of boxing that doesn't fit the reverse biasing, that doesn't fit the detracting, that doesn't fit the pandering, then they have to go to non-boxing topics. I thought there was this one archaic trick viewpoint of let you keep it boxing, let you keep it boxing. What the fuck happened to that? They're not even doing that, even though we know boxing is a three-pronged monster. Politics, economics, and pugilism. Let me say it again. We know that boxing is a three-pronged monster. Economics, politics, and pugilism. But they not even upholding to the one-trick archaic viewpoint of let you keep it boxing, let you keep it boxing. They're doing everything outside of keeping it boxing. Now, when you have to attack Errol the True Spence's supposed mental issue, that tells me you ain't got shit to talk about. Let me say it again. When you have to attack Errol the True Spence's supposed mental issue, you ain't got shit to talk about. Errol the True Spence is in crazy shape right now. Danny Garcia is going to get put out on the stretcher. The more y'all keep running your mouths, reverse bias, aka detractors. The more y'all keep running your mouths, panderers. The more y'all keep running your mouths, you classic, those you troglodytes and you Rudy Poos. Errol the True Spence is a true alpha extraordinaire. He governs himself by true alpha economics. And he's hearing everything. And he's going to prove a point that Danny Garcia is going to get put out on a freaking stretcher. I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.